How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about ExpressVPN. This is going to be my updated review of ExpressVPN. And of course, if you guys are interested in ExpressVPN, you'll find a link in the description down below. That'll give you a little bit of an extra discount if you guys are interested. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the privacy policy, speed, streaming and torrenting capabilities, as well as the security features of ExpressVPN and how they could be useful to you. All right, now most VPNs do claim a no logs policy in that they don't log your info. So yeah, in a lot of cases, you have to just take the provider's word for it. But in ExpressVPN's case, they do have plenty of evidence to back up their claims. And they have independent audits, in fact, to show as evidence. There are multiple audits online available, and you can see the full detail, for example, of this audit, and you can just read the audit for yourself. And all these audits really resulted in very good standing, which is just great for, well, the users of ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN were quick to fix any of the network infrastructure flaws that were there. And all these flaws were low to medium level flaws, which are not a big deal. And nothing that has to do, obviously, with logging information or leaking any of the user's information and activities. And to prove that, in 2017, the Turkish government seized an ExpressVPN server as part of an investigation, and they were still unable to provide any information. No user data was extracted out of these servers. And of course, it was the Turkish authority that seized these servers. So yeah, you can bet that they had the resources to extract anything that was in the server. But thanks to the trusted server technology of ExpressVPN, they were not able to extract anything out of the VPN. And just to show you, just to kind of tell you what trusted server is, I think it's somewhere around here. I'm just gonna look it up. So ExpressVPN trusted server, and trusted server is really the technology that replaces hard drives with RAMs. So as it says here, what these do is that all data will be wiped with every reboot, as VPN servers run on RAM only. So there really isn't any hard drives to keep data in, further minimizing data risk. The entire software stack is reinstalled in every server at startup, as I just said. And yeah, this is what makes the VPN or the ExpressVPN server infrastructure very, you could say, data leak proof. It's just simply there are no hard drives to store any data, which really solidifies and backs up their no-log claims. So that'll be it for the privacy policy. In my book, it gets an A+. Okay, so moving on to speed. This is my speed without a VPN, 5.26 megabits per second. Nothing too impressive, so I'm hoping that ExpressVPN doesn't cut down on my speed. And what I used in this case is the automatic protocol, which will direct me towards the lightweight UDP protocol most of the times. And I know a lot of you guys will use the automatic, which is the recommended protocol to use. Most people will just keep it at automatic, and that's exactly what I did here. So when you keep it on automatic, you're gonna get a 5. And what I was using here is the automatic option for the protocols. So this is where ExpressVPN will automatically pick the protocol most appropriate for your network. And I know most of you guys will not really be bothered to change around any protocols. Now, what I'd recommend is using the lightweight UDP protocol is the fastest one as far as my experience goes. But going with automatic is also a very good idea because, you know, sometimes, although lightweight UDP will work 99% of the times, yeah, going with automatic is usually just the safest option if you don't ever want to mess with the protocol options ever again. And typically any decrease between 10 and 30% is considered to be very good. Now, keep in mind, the higher your speed, the more you're going to lose. So if you have 100 megabits per second and you go down to, let's say, 70 megabits per second, you're losing 30%, but you're still getting very quick speed. So yeah, Now with me at 5.26 megabits per second, I'm hoping I don't lose up to 30% because I would be now in my case at 5.26 megabits per second, I'm hoping I wouldn't lose much speed because that would be a little bit too devastating for my already poor speeds. So when I connected to the French server, I'm near the European region, I got 4.53 megabits per second, which is a 13.8% drop. Very, very decent speeds indeed. Not the fastest, but it is on the higher end of the VPN spectrum, for lack of a better word. When connecting to the much farther server, New York here, I got an 11.59% drop in speed and 4.97 megabits per second, which ends up being a 5% decrease. And this just goes to show that it really doesn't matter usually with VPNs. And this just goes to show the quality of servers with ExpressVPN, because typically the farther the server, the lower the speed. But because typically the farther the server, the lower the speed. But with ExpressVPN, it's not exactly the case, because most of their servers, most of their over 3,000 servers in 94 countries are very high quality servers that will provide you with the best speeds, even if you are much farther away, even if there are, even if there is an entire continent or ocean between you and the server you're connecting to. So when it comes to speed, just absolutely wonderful here, okay? Now, moving on to streaming and torrenting capabilities, you can be sure that when it comes to streaming, you are able to stream anything you want, okay? From Netflix up to 18 Netflix libraries, which is way above the industry standard. Most VPNs will be able to unblock between around 4 to 5 and sometimes up to 10 streaming services or a Netflix library, excuse me. But in this case, you're able to unblock up to 18 confirmed libraries, and possibly even more if you do your own testing, because after all, there is 94 countries that you can test. And yeah, that goes to and that extends to other streaming services, of course, Amazon, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever it is that you're trying to unblock, you'll be able to unblock it with ExpressVPN. It's very well known for unblocking streaming services, and it is very consistent and reliable at doing so. And with regards to peer-to-peer activity and torrenting, it is allowed on all the servers, no matter which server you're using. So no worries at all. No bandwidth limitations, none of that, no throttling. You're able to torrent at will, no matter which server you're using. But there is no port forwarding, so just keep that in mind. And of course, because the nature of port forwarding poses more risk to your connection, ExpressVPN prefer to not make that available. So yeah, you won't be able to seed the torrents after you're done with your download, so just keep that in mind, okay? So that's pretty much it for ExpressVPN and what it's all about. With regards to the security features, ExpressVPN does very well here, and you don't really have many security features to worry about. All you have here is, I'm just gonna have to turn it off so that I can show you the kill switch. The kill switch will stop your internet traffic if the VPN disconnects unexpectedly, and this will make sure that you do not get any information leaked if your VPN disconnects for whatever reason, even though it is quite the rarity with ExpressVPN. Split tiling will allow you to choose which applications are routed through the VPN and which are not, so this can be very useful if, for example, you just want your torrenting client to use the VPN while the rest of your connection is untouched by the VPN tunnel, or vice versa if you would like, so it's a very useful feature. You have a handful of protocols. You can stick with automatic for the most part, but you do have a good selection here, and you won't be using any of them except for Lightweight UDP or OpenVPN UDP, or you can just stick with automatic. Though in advanced, you have, well, also nothing to worry about. The obfuscation option is not here because the proprietary obfuscation is always on by default. If you're not familiar with what obfuscation means, it means that your ISP won't be able to tell that you're using a VPN in the first place. They won't be able to censor you And obfuscation will also help you bypass censorship firewalls. And if you are in China, for example, where there is the advanced Great Firewall of China, you will be able to bypass it very easily by simply downloading the VPN. No manual configuration required. So yeah, very easy stuff. And you have browser extensions if you'd like to download them, and shortcuts that will show up once you connect to the VPN. So yeah, it's a pretty useful shortcut. So if you just want to come up with some shortcuts here, as soon as you turn on the VPN, they will show up right here. So you can put some Netflix shortcuts, Amazon shortcuts, whatever shortcuts you're looking for. And as you can tell, turning on the VPN is as easy as just clicking this button. So in terms of the user interface, it is as easy as it gets, and it's the same on Android, your TV, your Mac, your iOS, whatever device you're using. It's going to be the same interface, same options, same everything. You're not going to be losing out on any features, whether you're on Mac or iOS or Windows or Android, because most VPNs will take away features if you're on different devices. But with ExpressVPN, it's really just going to be the same thing for the most part. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, with regards to compatibility, it is, well, compatible on most devices. No matter which device you're using, you're going to be able to, get ExpressVPN and download it on most devices. And if you have a device that is not compatible with, natively compatible at least, with ExpressVPN, you will be able to use a feature called Media Streamer, which will give you a DNS, which you can just input into your console, for example, into your PlayStation, and you'll be able to use ExpressVPN through that DNS, which is provided to you by ExpressVPN. It's very easy. Or you can just secure your router and have your router app control the entire network. And that's how you can secure your console, for example. And you'll be able to secure up to 5 devices per subscription. But if you'd like to secure all of your devices, just install ExpressVPN on your router, and you're good to go. You can secure as many routers as you would like. Just make sure that the router you're using is, well, compatible with ExpressVPN. There are plenty of compatible routers, and they do have recommended routers right here. These are the ones they recommend for their service. So that is pretty much it for the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The only downside to ExpressVPN that I can think of is the pricing. It's just a little bit more expensive than typical VPNs. But if you are interested in getting a little discount on ExpressVPN, be sure to check the link in the description down below. And keep in mind that you do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which you can claim through the 24/7 live chat support right here. If you have any problems with the, or if you're not satisfied for whatever reason, which is unlikely to be the case really, you can contact the live chat support. As you can tell here, you can ask them for the refund. It'll be processed within 3 to 4 days, business days that is. And yeah, it's a very easy process, risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So that'll be it for this video. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer all of them. Like and subscribe if you'd like to support the channel and stay up to date with everything VPNs and cybersecurity. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.